I'd be so sad if he dies. He just wanted to do the right thing. This poor kid. I do not understand, for the life of me, how you manage to predict half the stuff you predict.
Every time Alina is in this book, stuff goes wrong. I got one thing right.
Bro, you got more than one thing right. I don't know how you predict this. Hello, we are back with the King of Scars duology. Quick disclaimer, this will have spoilers in it for the previous books, and also as we read there will be spoilers. I forgot to say that last time, so like everyone knows. You are 10 chapters in, I'm 11 chapters in, and let's get into how you're feeling about it so far. I went into this knowing a couple things, but I'm really loving it. I initially wasn't loving the ഛᴏᴏᴅᴅ storyline because I thought it was going in the marriage prospect way, and I was like, oh, I don't want this. I was like, no.
No one wants that.
Then they were like, no, we're going on a pilgrimage, and I was like, now I'm back into this. Because when that was kind of seeming like it was going on, I was like, yeah, I definitely prefer Nina's storyline right now to this stuff going on.
And the wolf.
He came back! He came back! We knew it would happen, and he did. So that happened, which is one of the predictions. And then the other prediction I had was from Six of Crows. We heard about Leonie, who was a fabricator that Jasper's mum saved, and that is the fabricator at the start of this book that Nina is working with. So that was really awesome.
And Adric's back with
no arm. In the Lives of Saints, there is a mention of the Starless Saint, and I was always like, huh, interesting. And I didn't realize the reason why is because in this one, there's the cult of the Starless Saint.
But there's something going on with the Darkling.
Yes.
I don't think the Darkling's gone. And this is what I think.
Okay.
Given everything that's going on with Nikolai, which we haven't talked about yet, but Nikolai's got this monster inside of him. Well, it's not really a monster. It's really the piece of the Darkling that's left over inside of him.
The ɪṛsᴛᴏ
Yes.
creature.
That 3 years later, now we're 3 years further on, and all of a sudden this thing's come back to life, and now he, whenever he goes to sleep, he transforms into this creature of the night. And given that there's a part of the Darkling that lived inside of him, notwithstanding that he's had all these people trying to fix him, there is a very real chance that the Darkling, almost like he put his soul into a vessel.
Yeah.
And given that you've now got all of a sudden this cult of the
and this guy saying, oh, he came when he spoke to me. That reminds me of how, like, in the Grisha trilogy, how Alina would have those times where she could see him in a room, and he was like, he projected himself. I'm really curious to see how that's all going to play out, and I am curious to see if Alina will come back into this. Like, I know that
at some point you're going to have her come back, because if the Darkling's there, the only person who can fight the Darkling is Alina, even though they talk about other sun summoners. I think there's a lot of stuff to go on, and then everything that's happening with Nina and how, I think it was interesting.
Death magic.
Yeah, and the fact that it's now a positive.
Since there are all those graves around there with the dead women,
there's not a lot she can't dig up.
Yeah.
There's a lot for her to dig up and play with.
It's going to be really fun.
But there's definitely something skew-if because of the fact of what happened with the wolves, the fact that they attacked and they were they were skittish and weird. Oh yeah,
the weird infected kind.
There's something in the water. There's something they're doing.
They're experimenting on something.
Well, they're obviously killing Grisha.
But yeah, that's it for this little update. This is very much fun. I'm glad to be reading this with you, especially because we're both in it in the first time, so it's kind of more
I know, it's unusual that we're both
bounce theories off of each other too now, so
I know.
Yeah. Okay, that's it for this clip. We'll catch you guys later. Bye.
Bye.
Hello, how's everyone doing? So, we are now 75% through the book. I do want to mention before we get into anything that I'm currently a rep for Duology. You can find them on Instagram, I'll link them down below, but they have a bunch of new Grisha merch, including this fun Grishaverse t-shirt, which has the symbol on it, and you can get it. I have a code, it's Princess10. So if you want that stuff, you can get it. This also comes in a sweatshirt as well, which is fun. So a lot has gone down, like a lot. The Saints are back. We have Isaac.
But they're not saints.
Well, okay, the Saints, the Grisha Saints are back.
Yes.
And Isaac is now a character in this. I think something's gonna happen between him and the Shoe Princess. I don't know what, but I think
he might end up dead.
Oh, you think he's gonna die?
I think the bigger question is this. There was a hint in the chapter where she was blushing and smiling, and then her guards came in and were giving this whole disapproved look and feel. There's something going on.
Well, and also when he mentioned that, like, instrument that she plays. Like, she just completely, like, that also changed everything for her. I'm personally wondering if...
Is it her?
Yes, if it's not someone from her guard that wants to defect, if it's her who wants to defect, which would make total sense and would be really cool.
That could be right.
So,
but is she actually the princess?
Oh. You think that they sent someone else? I mean, like...
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
And you know what? It's exactly the piece that you just said. They mentioned the instrument she plays, which is a really unique instrument. It's an 18-string, whatever it is. Most people play a 12. She plays an 18, and it's her passion. And up to that point in the conversation, she was hyper engaged and talking and all into it. And you get to the one thing that's meant to be this thing that is her thing.
And she's just
and she goes, wah, wah.
Whoa.
Shut me down. Just saying.
So ɪᴛᴏᴏᴅᴅ and poor Yuri is in with the sandcastle area, whatever's going on
Well, it's
there.
a different dimension.
Yes. How the Grisha are actually completely different with their powers than what they
The original Grisha.
Yeah.
Effectively, Grisha became... They're like Beastmasters in previous fiction fantasy
They became
books.
one with the
Yeah, they
beasts.
became part of the animal and their spirit. They basically infused one another. So
Yes.
neither one continued to exist, and therefore they became one and more powerful.
Yes. But since the Grisha became more hungry for power and didn't want to start giving up their own stuff, they began just taking the bones instead.
Yeah. But Zoya is just as... She's actually stronger now than she was before without anything.
Yes.
Because she's embraced the way the magic is meant to work.
I'm really interested by this whole ritual that has to go down for Nikolai to be rid. I don't think this is going to end well for him.
I think what's going to happen is that at the point that the Darkling's soul leaves, it's going to get Yuri.
Oh, you think it's going to transfer?
I don't think you can kill a shadow.
But I don't think it's a shadow. I think it's a piece of his magic that needs to just be...
But he is shadows, and I think it's going to go from him into...
But what if it takes
Yuri.
on its own entity? What if he just reincarnates?
No, because you need a corporal form.
Oh, it's true. I'm very excited. And then Nina, oh my stars.
Nina's all over the place.
She's gotten herself into a mess and a half at this point. Like, I was so... When I read that scene where she went into the factory and saw the women there, I was like, oh my god, they've made like a baby Mel.
They are. It is a baby Mel.
Yeah. But oh my god, and the fact that the girl, Hain, is Jarl Brum's daughter.
Oh my lord. That I didn't
see.
That I didn't see.
The so not good.
And the fact that at one point Nina thought he recognised her.
We'll see how this all ends up going. I don't think it's going to go... I think it's just going to go downhill from here. But I'm excited to see it go downhill.
At least the upside of her books are that it's constant tension, pressure, action. There's just stuff going on everywhere and no one's future is certain.
No, not at all. I think it's going to end with whatever's I think the final scene, my guess is going to be Nikolai battling the demon inside. That's my guess.
I don't know, we've got too much of the book to go and it seems like he's already preparing for that, so yeah. I think it'll be him back at court.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, it's going to be interesting because he's going to rock back up there and they're going to be like, well, you're here but you were there, what's going on?
Oh, you're assuming that Isaac survives.
You're so sure he's going to be killed.
Someone has to die. In all of her books, she kills off a good character. She kills off Matthias.
Oh, I want to be so sad if he dies. He just wanted to do the right thing. This poor kid.
That's what happens when you do the right thing sometimes.
Okay, we'll catch you guys later. Bye.
Bye.
I do not understand, for the life of me, how you manage to predict half the stuff you predict. It is ridiculous. So, if you couldn't tell, we finished the book last night.
I didn't predict everything. I didn't predict who was going to kill Isaac, but I knew Isaac was going to die. He had to.
I didn't think he was going to die in this book. The poor kid got like 4 chapters and then murked off.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I told you.
Then you were all like, I bet the shadow was going to go from Nikolai into Yuri.
Okay, that was a good guess.
That was I sat here last night, I finished, okay?
I didn't realise that she'd saved the body though.
No,
if I'd known that, then I wouldn't have guessed it was going to go to Yuri.
But it did anyway.
It did anyway because I got...
But you said that and I sat there after I finished the book and I was like, I do not understand how this man predicted so many different things. You even said your predictions were, I bet that they'll complete the ritual and they will end up back there. Well, and they did. They did end up.
They had to end up back there. It was logical that they had to go back because time had shrunk.
Yes.
And if you didn't have him going back to the palace and everything like that, then how do you close out that?
How would it have continued on?
Yeah, and the way she writes, there wouldn't have been a cliffhanger.
Zoya.
Oh, man.
Zoya. Oh, my God.
She's now going to be
She's half dragon now.
She can now fabricate. She can now do a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
But she still has an affinity for, water and air magic.
Yeah.
And even as a dragon, that connection's got even stronger.
Yeah. Oh, so interesting. But it was interesting to finally learn her whole reason for backing Alina, because we never really understood
why.
It just seemed like she just morally was like, backing the Darkling is a bad idea, so I'm just going to back Alina. But no, it's because the Darkling killed the only person she cared about.
And not only that, I think also the way the Darkling used her.
He is a manipulative person, and now
he's morally void.
He cares about. He says he cares.
No, he cares about Ravka.
Yes, well,
doesn't care about anything else. He doesn't, and he wants in his own power because it comes from that place. I think that I don't know. It's going to be pretty cool to see where this all goes, especially with now we've got another Lantis of air.
Oh God, another one.
I'm more excited because I think now you'll see all of the books come together in this last book.
Well, especially because now she's at the Palace Ice Court, and that.
Now we need a Nej to come and play.
I think she can.
And Breaker.
I hope that Breaker does. If Kaz comes back in, I will be the happiest camper on earth.
We've got Alina.
Alina has to come back in.
She has to come back
in. There's no way she doesn't. The Shoe Princess and Mayu.
Oh, good call. Yes, that was a great call.
Yes, I loved
and for the right reason.
Yes, but also the fact, like, when I was reading that scene where Tamar was fighting with Mayu, and then Isaac was fighting with the princess, and then afterwards they were like, well, she's not very good at fighting for like a warrior. I was like, oh my God, they switched places.
And they're meant to be some of the best warriors.
Yeah. So it was like, this doesn't make sense. And I was like, that's what's going on. And then it was revealed. So that was the one reveal that I was like, once it was kind of shown, I was like, that's 100% happening. All you know is that the Freedens are just, they're going to war.
Yeah,
and I think that's what's going to be really nice about having Nina's POV is you're going to see them wanting to go to war and that whole aspect of it.
Well, yeah, because she's going to be there as they start to build up the whole point about invading.
Yeah, and she's in Yalbrum's, which she is playing it very close.
She's probably in the most dangerous position of
She's back in the ice court.
In the ice court with people that really don't like her.
No. We will catch up in 2 weeks. That's when we'll start again.
Yes.
I'm very pumped. That's it.
Exciting.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
So.
Hi. We're back.
We're back. We are like 43%. I think that's what it is. Of the way through Rule of Wolves.
We are.
Wow.
There's been a lot going on.
I mean, obviously, the number one thing is Alina did come back.
Called it all the way along.
I was going to get a high five, that's fine.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, oh my God. And I had no idea if she would or wouldn't come back. I was really hoping so because it wouldn't make sense otherwise. Like, plot-wise, how could you have done this without having Alina come back in? And she did. Of course, it went sideways.
Because every time Alina is in this book, stuff goes wrong. She can't even go to a meeting and have the meeting go right.
No.
She turns up at the meeting and gets stooged.
We learned that through giving up hers, it's how those other sun summoners now exist. They wouldn't exist if it wasn't for her giving up her power. So while she may
But they're not as powerful as she was.
Yeah, but there's more of them. So it's like, the question is like, is that better or not? Who knows?
Nah.
Nikolai and Zoya's got like their kind of little romance going on, but then oh my God, the whole wedding sham.
That was good.
That was good. I had no idea where that was going to go.
I thought... He had me suck it in.
I thought he was literally getting married to that girl. And then when the queen pops up and she's like, who are these people getting married? I'm like...
He said you were coming to a royal wedding. I didn't say it was my wedding.
It's cool that Nikolai can now control the demon inside him and like use it, well, to an extent. I also thought it was smart how with the Zemeni, he ended up creating the air things for them while he gave the Kerch the submarines. And
that was very cool. Yeah, you can have submarines, but we're actually going to help the other guys fly over you, so it's irrelevant. And he said that at the end of the other book.
Yeah.
They think they got what they wanted, but they didn't get what they need.
Yes. At the end of the day, he's really smart. From all the things that he's been through, it's just his people don't trust him. And then we had the whole issue of
there's a bigger issue.
You mean the Landstorf pretender that's now in theatre?
That's actually that's not a Landstorf pretender.
That actually is
actually a Landstorf. And the fact that because he is a bastard, the people aren't going to forgive him. I've already told you my projection.
I know you think that Zoya's he's going to abdicate and Zoya will take the throne. I do think Zoya will be a queen. I'm just not sure exactly how Nikolai is going to fit in.
Because it's completely within his character. You even heard him, you read it in the last chapter where he was saying he recognises he's really good at this, he just doesn't want to be king.
Yeah.
He really probably would be better off in Ketterdam.
Yeah.
With Breaker. Well, if you think about it, him and Kaz are very similar. Neither one of them are these super strong fighting characters, definitely able to look after themselves above normal. But it's their mind and the way they manipulate everyone and manipulate all the situations that makes them awesome characters.
That's true. I never thought about how similar they are, but they truly are. And then we have lovely Nina in her little termite business. Okay, I'm so annoyed. Okay, she went into that room, saw Magnus there, he's trying to tell her something and she goes, not now. Gags him again and leaves. He was going to tell us something really important, and this is going to come back and bite everyone in the ass. I don't know what it is.
Well, no. I think what he was going to tell her was about the invasion that was about to happen when they bombed Ravka.
Oh, and took David.
At this point, we think he's potentially dead, but we know that's not real.
Oh, David is not dead.
So
David is not dead.
No.
David just got married to Jenya. There's no way they just killed him.
No, I'm just saying, so...
And then the Fjerdan prince, who is basically dying, but Hain is keeping him alive.
Yes. And he knows that they're doing something. Mm-hmm. And the Queen definitely knows. But she doesn't. Nina's got her well and truly manipulated.
That's a good one. I honestly don't know where this is so messy.
Given there's 55% of the book to go, there's a lot of stuff to clean up. The bit we need Nikolai and Kaz to come together. Because could you imagine what those two could do? But I think he'll come over to their side. I firmly believe that once Zoya's powers really come to the fore, she's the one person that can unite the Grisha with the ordinary Ravkans. The best kings and queens are the reluctant ones, and she would definitely be reluctant, the same as Nikolai. That's what makes him so good. The thing is that I think the average person could get behind her.
Yeah.
And I think there's going to be enough noise with everything else going on that it'll, I don't know, that's why I think. I don't know who else is going to die yet. I don't have a feel for that. I've got to be honest, I hadn't really thought about it. No way anything's going to happen to Nina or Han.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, actually, Hain might die.
I'll tell you, I think she does.
Why? Oh, but Nina brings her back to life.
But no, because she's having a real identity crisis, sexual identity crisis.
Oh yeah.
Where she said she was never more comfortable than dressed as a man. In the beginning of this book. So does she, and she is able to tailor herself.
Oh, you think she'll die as Hain and then reinvent herself and be a man?
Yes.
Oh.
I'm not going to tell you who I think she's going to come back as. I can write it in your notes though.
Write it in your notes and then leave it and then we'll see if you're correct.
I'm telling you. No, because you just think where they are, what's going on. Logically, what would you do?
You would make her the prince.
Aha. Because she and Nina,
and it's like what they did in the last book when Nikolai went missing. They had Isaac.
And she's around the prince enough that she... Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh my god. That would be...
Done. There's a spin.
Oh my god. Okay. Ooh.
Because she tailors herself all the time in the book. Like, Nina makes these little references all the time about things that she's just little subtle changes she's making.
Yeah.
So I suspect that what's going to happen at some point, we're going to think she's died, but she hasn't. Because it's the only way she can get out from under her parents.
This is a really great theory. If this doesn't happen, I'm going to be really upset because this is really good.
I have read like thousands of these books. It's the one thing.
Oh, that actually hurts a little bit.
Oh, sorry, yeah, you did get your shot today.
It's not too bad, not as bad as last time, but it's still not pleasant.
Anyway, there's my one theory for the rest of the book. Actually, I gave you 2 theories.
You did, okay. I'm guessing that we're just going to probably fly through the rest of this. If we don't and we do update, awesome, but if we don't, it's not the end of the day anyway, so. Very exciting. We will catch you guys up later. Bye.
Bye. We are finished.
And once again...
I got one thing right.
Bro, you got more than one thing right. I don't know how you predict this.
Okay, well I did get David very wrong.
Okay, David is the one thing we all got wrong, and I will admit, it wasn't until the book ended that I was like, okay, fine, he is dead.
Okay, 1 chapter into the next bit and he's dead.
Okay, just because they burnt his body, you didn't actually know if it was really his body. Like, it could have been like a tailored body, I'm just saying.
That's true. Actually, I did. I got 3 things right. I got that right. I got the Darkling sacrificing himself.
Yeah, you got the whole idea of the Darkling sacrificing himself. You got the correction of Zoya becoming queen because he would abdicate the throne to her. And then you also got correct the whole, literally word for word, the whole idea of, you know what, the Rasmus is gonna die, and then Hayne is gonna tailor herself to look like him, and then she'll be the prince.
Okay, that I didn't really expect though. I thought that was a sort of a wild one.
Yeah, but it was like exact. So what did you end up thinking of it?
Oh, I thought this was the best book of the lot. And I love the way it's ended because she's left it open now to write a whole book about
the crows again.
What happens with the crows and the Darkling and finding that whoever it's someone's heart that's missing.
Yeah.
St. Felix.
Yeah, that's the one. So I liked how the crows came into this. I was surprised that we only saw like such a small amount for ɪṛsᴛᴏ, but I really liked seeing Kaz again. And it
was good to have Kaz.
Yeah, it reinforces that whole idea that you, like everything you keep saying, which is the fact that they're very similar people.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, and so I liked seeing them come back, especially because I love them to death.
I love the byplay between Kaz and Nikolai.
Yeah.
And they're both outsmarting other people and each other. It's like this weird, like Kaz... Like everyone going, no, there's no way Kaz is going to do it. And then Nikolai goes, I think he's going to.
Yeah. I thought it was interesting, the way that the Darkling played out. His POVs and stuff was very strange.
I think they could have done a lot more with his character. It was interesting, like she introduced him back in, but he became very peripheral.
It was weird. I thought that we would get more from his chapters. Like, that was the one thing I realised was his chapters... They didn't actually really come to anything.
I think that at the end of the day, that's sort of how I guessed he was going to... I didn't expect him to end up in a tree or holding the fold closed or anything like that. I just figured I don't know. I actually thought something was going to happen to Zoya and he'd be the one, but he's not that self-effacing.
No, that was interesting. I thought that was a good twist that then leads her to like have a lot more space to write more books in this series now.
Yeah.
I loved Zoya turning into the dragon finally.
Yeah, and now she turned into the dragon. She's more than happy to be a dragon. And then she's got the dragon armor now.
Yeah, that was sick.
So that's actually part of the dragon.
I thought it was interesting, the Shu kind of plotline that we had following Mayu. That was an entire plot line. I did not see anything. Like, I could not have predicted any of that stuff. Because Mayu didn't know what was going on, so it was fun to see them being like, oh, you thought they were just doing, like, seeing pretty roses?
Yeah.
No, it's the grandma. And they were like, you thought we would just have the grandma there? No, we have the grandma here the whole time. Like, why would you? Because you have Tamar there, and I think that Eri is actually, she's a lot smarter than she lets herself seem. And I think it's just because... She generally, I don't think she actually wants the crown, but she
doesn't want to be queen.
If she wanted to.
Yeah, she's as calculating as her sister.
Yeah.
But just in a different way.
I like the whole idea that now the Kurgan are like a kind of like a secret, like assassin squad now for Ravka.
Yeah, but they're also, no, they're not really. They're there to save Grisha. So that was cool.
I like that. And then I think Nina's storyline is done. I don't think we're going to see her in other books. I think she's completed, which is why I think it's going to be interesting to see. Because so liko Bardugo, I just found out the other day, she's not writing the next book for a little while because she's writing the screenplays for the TV show.
Oh.
But I think that when she does come back into it, it's going to be interesting to see how she puts all the crows back together again.
Well, you can see what's happening. It's going to, and because what's interesting is because of Nikolai's new position, does he end up going with Kaz and the crew?
As Strummond.
Yeah, so is there something there that can play out? And then how do you introduce some of those other characters that were in the peripheral? Like Genya really didn't do a lot.
And yeah, now that her husband's dead.
Yeah, he's dead. She didn't believe he was dead. We had a whole conversation. She goes, no, he's alive. They substituted
She's
his
never
body.
killed anyone like that before. Like, he's a character who's been throughout all the series. He's just been this stagnant, you know, character that you could run. He's not someone that you ever would have thought would die.
And it didn't make any difference to the story.
No. What I thought was interesting, though, is when they saw Wylan, it never occurred to me how
and
similar
Wylan and David are the same.
Yeah.
So that's probably the piece that now Wylan will then start to help. Because could you imagine what Wylan and David could have done together?
Yeah.
Like the fact that he took the drawings and gone, actually, you need to do this, and this.
I love that.
That was cool.
That was really good.
Cool. It's interesting that the whole thing about the љanisov heir came to nothing.
Yeah.
And it was interesting, even though I thought Nikolai would abdicate, I didn't put all the pieces together to think about how she would get elected, though.
Yeah, using her as the whole idea she's a saint, a Grisha, and a soldier.
Yeah.
I really loved it. I thought it was a really great conclusion to the duology. There was a lot of moving parts in this.
She wrapped it up nicely.
A lot of moving parts, yeah, but it ended up being really good.
There was no loose ends that you didn't. Well, I didn't feel like she rushed to tidy anything up. She put it all together in a nice package at the end.
Yeah, which was really good because I don't know. I've read a couple recently where it feels like things just get tidied up a bit too quickly, but it was just the right amount.
I've got to be honest. It was very tough not to go to the back of the book and go, "Am I right?"
Yeah, I mean, that's fair enough. But yeah, that's the end of the King of Scars duology and the end of this little journey we've been on the last 2 months.
We've read a lot of books.
Yeah, we've read 7 books. Okay, well, thank you everyone for watching this. If you did enjoy this video, please hit the like button down below. If you want to see more of me, please subscribe to my channel. And until next time, thanks a bunch everyone. Bye!
Bye!